Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm running late. Bathroom happens. What up, though? I got Fred in the house already. Well, yeah. Yeah, amazing. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. No more Walker, Texas Ranger. I remember him first from the movies back in the late 70s. Seen him in Delta Force with Lee Morgan. At the theaters. I'm old. The things he had done. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. That's what's up, Yinzer. When Yinzer shows up, I got to do it. Well, we signed back defensive tackle / defensive end Myles Adams, that was a part of the team a couple of years ago, a UDFA we let slip through our fingers. He was poached off our practice squad. He's back. It's not a re-signing, it's a new signing, because now he's actually got a little playing time. MDE, I'm doing great, except for the news about Cade Cunningham. He's going to be out another 12 days at least. This was the second day since we found out he had a punctured lung. Yeah, I always said, wouldn't it be great if Clint Eastwood would run as president and use Chuck Norris as the VP? Who'd fuck with America then? That's a pairing I'd be able to get behind. Wouldn't that have been a great pairing? If you're going to make actors presidents like Ronald Reagan, I mean, let's face it, they're all actors. They lie to our face every time they're on TV. Hello, how are you? Hi, Heather. Okay, quit spamming it. I said hi. So we got Myles Adams. So we got a guy that can play both DT and defensive end. So we have 5 in the edge room because I forgot to add in Tyler Lacey. Ricky Sika. Yeah, I got upset, but then I looked at it. AJ Empinesa, in order for us to sign him, we'd have had to have signed him for about the same amount of money as we did DJ Wanham, and I don't think they want 2 $6 million guys on the roster because they're probably getting somebody in the draft. That's awesome, too. Hell, I wrote my own name in back in 2020. But AJ Epinesa is a Brown. He'll be opposite Myles Garrett. I like it, Ricky. Hello, Joseph. Oh, back to sports. Cade Cunningham's out for 2 weeks. He's got 12 days left that he'll be out for the Pistons. The Red Wings won another one last night. They were down 1-0 at the end of the second period. Hi, Bloxy. Joseph, I'm doing fantastic. Any day I wake up is good. We must be having a lot more kids entering the chat lately. I don't mind, but I am listed as an 18 and up. Yes, Michigan won yesterday. Overrated State University lost to TCU, keeping my bracket intact. When Chuck Norris swam in the ocean, sharks swam away. Yes. Just talking sports, brother. That's what I do. I talk mostly Detroit Lions, but I cover the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers. Opening day is 6 days away for the first game of the Tigers for the season. That explains your attitude a lot, Robbie. I get it. Okay, I've said you. I've said hi a few times. So Myles Adams, Greg Dorich, who replaces Khalif Raymond on the roster. No, I don't need a new phone. My phone works perfectly fine. So if you have any sports questions about the Detroit sports teams, go ahead and put them in the chat. I will answer them. But I'd like to get back to talking sports. Um, this isn't like a personal thing. I actually do this. I write about them. Yeah, I know. Robbie, I like what the Steelers done, but I don't think they've done enough. Nice. Soccer's a good sport. Pretty soon, Detroit will have they made it into the playoffs this year. Maybe they'll do better next year. The Detroit Field Club. I'm not much of a soccer fan myself, but I do not blame anybody for being a fan or playing it 100%. If that's what you want to do, kudos to you. But I do cover the four main professional sports in Detroit, and I may branch out and include a fifth. Nice. Basketball, I played a little, I think seventh and eighth grade. Football, I played from the eighth grade to 10th. I know you want Howard to start. We talked about this. But we got our backup QB in Teddy Bridgewater. I think we'll end up drafting one possibly in day 3 or picking up a UDFA. I hope it's Jack Strand. That's all I care about. But we lost 10 players that everybody loved on the Lions, and we brought back 14. Let that sink in. Everybody said, oh, there's too many holes in this roster to fill to be able to fill it in the draft. They overfilled them. We technically have over 60 players on our roster. Ooh, would you sign Derek Carr? He actually sat and was healthy last year, Michael. And unlike J.J. McCarthy, who had to miss 11 weeks of the season just with the rehab of his injury from surgery before he could start doing anything. He couldn't even practice with the team with that. Hey, I have a job too. This is not the only thing I do, but it's one of the things I do. I also write about 3 teams in the NFL. I write about the Lions, I write about the Jaguars, and I write about the Bucks. Uh, I have a day job as a shift manager. I know. And we have 9 picks this draft, which means we have enough picks. Like if we take that 4th, 5th, and 6th and trade it up for a 3rd in this draft, we'll have 7 picks with 3 in the first 2 days, which is where most teams get their starters out of. So I'm a busy man. I do what, MD, would you say about 10 shows a week right now with the ones I'm a guest on, plus what I do myself? Well, no, like I do 5 in the morning. I do 5 night shows during the week now because I'm part of Adams' Monday baseball show. I got my baseball show on Saturdays, and I sometimes am a guest on somebody else's show. So that's about 11, 12 shows a week I do right now. It's going to cut down by 1 because now I'm going to have to work the morning shift on Wednesdays, and I'm fine with that. Gives me a break in the middle of the week from having to rush, get up, and be ready for a job because I'll already be working. Well, Heather, I don't know if you know my family background or not, but I'm good. My family, we do have our own opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's the beauty of this country. And it used to be we respected everybody's opinions, even if they were different. And these days, nobody respects anybody's opinion because all that matters is their own. And I don't like that. But I respect everybody's opinion, even if it's wrong. I may make a funny statement over it, and I'm not mad at you, okay? I'm just I'm educating on how I do things. I like respectful stuff. You can talk crap about someone's team, but do not talk crap about a person individually. Everybody's gone through their own things and they're facing their own demons and they have their own problems. They don't need to be picked on because of differences. I like good people. So if you're a good person, I'm good. I'll leave it at that. I don't care if you're left or right wing in principle because that doesn't matter in sports. That doesn't matter in personal relationships either, really. I don't know why everybody's so divided. And that'll be the last I talk of politics today. I was making a joke about Chuck Norris and not in making fun of him because I wanted to bring light to a bad situation. My heartfelt prayers and condolences go out to his family, his surviving children, his wife, who he's been with for 25 years. Hell, the last 15 years, we've seen him on infomercials together, doing Total Gym and then that diet they do together. So we got our running back room has 4 that are on the roster. Jacob Sailors. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Jacob Sailors, Sione Vaki. Then we got Isaiah Pacheco and our RB1 and Jahmyr Gibbs. I hated losing Monty, especially after the way he clowned the media, but I'm okay with what we got in return. Extra pick for this year and next year in the day 3, plus a player, and a player that cost almost $6 million less than he did. I'm good with it. And for the price we got Isaiah Pacheco, that's 2 players less than what he made, plus 2 picks. So we replaced him as far as a RB2. It's not a 1A, 1B situation anymore. Because Pacheco has to prove he can stay healthy. That's why he got such a cheap deal. So I'm happy you guys are here for your spring break. I know Easter's coming up. I hope everybody's looking forward to the Easter holiday. We got March Madness going on. My bracket, I only had 5 winners out of the 8 games yesterday, which meh, is what it is. Looking forward to a better day today. The games are just starting. Had somebody trying to call me. Well, until he stays healthy, I think Pacheco has a better YPC, but he has to stay on the field. And I think he might as an RB2 versus being a running back 1. So now that we've got a guy that plays both interior and edge on the defensive line for the Lions and Adams, much like Levi on Muzariki, and Mikai Wingo is in that same boat too. We have our starters in Aleem McNeil and Talik Williams. Reeder is out the building. We didn't bring him back because he's older. We lost 2 corners to free agency and signed 4. We have 1 starter that won't be back till mid-October to late October in the safety room, and we signed 1 there. We had another one returning from injury, and Kirby is already working out at the facility, and they're saying he's having no signs of ill effects so far. But I'm pretty sure the practices are every other day instead of every day, because you got to need, when you're recovering, you got to work out a day and then a day of rest. And it's looking like he'll be back for the beginning of the season. So I don't think we have as many holes as everybody thinks. I think our holes at starter is still edge. It might be linebacker, but look at Damone Clark. I'm saying he might be playing well enough to supplant Rodrigo as the weak side linebacker. Our strong side is Barnes. Barnes was the strong side all last year, and he had an okay year. What we need to improve is the interiors, not only their chance to collapse the pocket and get the pressure, but also to stop the runs up the middle, because we didn't have Branch and Kirby back there to clean up the messes past the linebacker, thus equaling more yards per carry like we saw from week 9 on. When you're not able to run the ball well, you get in bad situations on 3rd down, which equals when you go for it on 4th down, even worse situations on 4th down. And by the numbers, he went down 2% on going for it on 4th down last year. The bad part is we dropped on converting them by 10%. And that also couples in with the bad O-line play. Goff statistically had his best year, other than the year that he threw when they made the Super Bowl with the Rams, was statistically his best season as a Lion last year. He's done everything we've asked for when we got him in that trade. Reduce turnovers each year, increase the amount of touchdowns, make sure the touchdown to interception ratio stays above 2-1. So it wasn't Goff's fault we lost last year. He threw for over 4,500 yards. He had two receivers with over 1,000 yards already, and if Laporta didn't get hurt, he probably would have had a third. The difference was once Laporta went down, he had to spread the ball around more, and he did. He started using Khalif Raymond. Tom Kennedy got snaps. Tesla was starting to be used a little bit more towards the end of the season because they got comfortable. So, football 101. Brad told us when he was hired 5 years ago, I build through the draft, I fill holes in free agency. He has not wavered. The shift this year was going from aging vets to younger players. Almost everybody that's over 30 years old is off this team now, except for Tom Kennedy. That guy never leaves. I've called him the camp cockroach for 3 straight years. The guy gets cut, goes to the practice squad, makes the active roster by 3 weeks after he signed. Every time. Well, now he's at least our RB4, if not our RB5. I mean, our wide receiver 4 or our wide receiver 5. He is on the roster. We signed him to an actual contract. Congratulations, Tom Kennedy. You finally earned one. So let's look at the salary cap situation. I'm bringing that up right now. I just want to see if they updated. Okay, Bays is signed, and his cap hit this year is 2.7 million. Christian Indian is 1.955. Pacheco 1.80. Rakestraw makes less than Pacheco. Ratledge makes less than Pacheco as a first round pick for cap hit. Khalil Dorsey's still on this roster. He's going to probably be my cut candidate this year. Tyler Lacey makes less than everybody. Wingo makes less than everybody. Mahogany as a starter makes 1.1 million. Tom Kennedy gets his first $1 million payday in his career for this year. Miles Frazier makes less than 1.1 million. Hogan Hatton does. Conklin does. Jake Bate does. Thomas Harper does. Michael Neese is still on the roster, a guy that didn't get a chance to take any snaps at center last year. Chris Smith, Lauren Strickland, Dominic Lovett, Devin Cochran, Malik Cunningham, Jacob Sailors, Nick Whiteside. And then we get to the guys that don't even make the top 51. And the first one is Ahmad Hassanin. His contract cap hit is $100,000 this year, but his salary is $885. What a brilliant contract move. Dan Jackson, the guy we brought back from off of injury, is only making $33,000, while his contract is $885. Kai Robichaud, his cap hit is under $2,000 while making $885 a year. So let's see. Jabari Small, Mason Miller, Jason Meeks, Seth McLaughlin, Zach Horton, and Thomas Gordon round out who's on. The ones that are yet to add in is DJ Wanham, Greg Dortch, Damone Clark, Teddy Bridgewater, and Myles Adams. So we only got 5 more to add, and we're still sitting with $27 million in cap space. I think that's amazing. But it's time to do what I do every day at this time. And the 3 letters is MMD. If MDE, if you're out there, put it in the chat. Yeah, there it is. Let's roll. That's a nice trade. I like that. That's the Jets. And then the Seahawks. They say this one gives us more, but that's not a third round pick even, and we're giving up one. I like this one. Go back to 31, but let's see who's on the board first. But I think I'm going to reject the Seahawks offer automatically. I don't like the Jets offer either. I like this one. So I'm going to leave that on the board. Let's see who's here. We got TJ Parker, Menzel Delane, Kalen McDonald, Dylan Thieneman, Hendrick Walk, Max Ahinacor. This move right here, if we get him, and I think he's one of the best right tackles not named Francis Mauagawa this draft. We get him, Panay can move to left, or we can teach him left tackle. Either way. I like this guy. The only one I like better, and he's already gone. I'm going to take him. I'm not going to wait for 31 to try and trade back. There we go. Now it depends on what's offered here. Yeah, that's the only trade offer. I'm not going back. I'm going to go edge here. So he's off the board. The guys that were here before 50 are already off the board. Igbenison went off the board. Let's look at cornerback. D'Angelo Pons. He's just a little shorter for me. I don't want to go shorter. We've been signing bigger defensive backs. Bud Clark is interesting. 6 foot, 188. AJ Halsey, who did not even run. My guy is Jalen Kilgore. I'm going to try to propose a trade. Let's see. Not the Browns because they're at the top. Texans made the playoffs. Dallas didn't. Green Bay didn't. Minnesota didn't. Giants didn't. I'm just trying to look for somebody mid who just missed. Let's go Baltimore. There. I like it. Ooh, take that off. There we go. And next year's third. I'm moving back. Yeah, I don't like either one of these trades. Here we go. Kamari, Jalen Kilgore. It's either Psyche Wheatley, who didn't run, but he did, and he ran well. I love Kilgore. I love the fact that he's like Brian Branch with Kirby skills. That's the way I'm going. Look, one of the guys we wanted. Zane Durant had one hell of a combine, but he's one of those tweener guys. I think we're going to need a guy with more girth to him, like Dante Corleone, which means I could probably get him later, maybe. Linebacker, Hosea Trotter makes more sense here. Yeah, I'm not trading with you. Zane Durant's still here. Dante Corleone. This is where I like him. Mm. Michael Takers. Yeah. Here's where I don't mind reaching into the early 200s for somebody. I like Ephesians Brysock. There he is, Kendall Daniels. Tight end, Tanner Koziel, who had a very good combine, worked out well. So I'm just waiting for it to finish. I'm going to stop sharing and get back to my normal view here. Let's download it. All right. I actually moved out of the second, but I gained picks and a pick for next year. Max Ahinakor for right tackle at 17. Jalen Kilgore at 74 for safety. Danny Dennis Sutton for edge at 115, who's falling on the draft boards but had a good performance at the combine. Hosea Trotter, Dante Corleone, Michael Tafe, Ephesians Prysock, Kendall Daniels, Tanner Cozio, and Jack Strand. And I picked up Baltimore's third. So I turned our 9 picks to 10 and gained a pick for next year, which will be pick 50. Or traded away pick 50 to get their third round pick, which will be somewhere in the middle of the pack. It looks like a solid draft to me. I think I hit everything we need. I doubled down with Kendall Daniels. Same here. I know you read my profile that I wrote. I think I'm going to do a show based just on him come Monday. I'm going to get back to doing the draft profile Monday. Just in case there's no more news this weekend. But we quietly picked up Seth McLaughlin to back up Cade Mays. So we got a vet and a vet, both of them younger than Glasgow. We still got Michael Neese, who we picked up on the international pathways back in 2023 or 24. Ahmad Hassanin was our international pathways player last year, still on this roster. I'm noticing a trend. Those guys tend to make the team. Thank you. It's a lot of work to do it right. I like doing it, and I like doing it realistically. You notice that my draft profiles don't read as a fit for the Lions or a fit for the Jaguars or a fit for the Bucs. It's more about a fit in the NFL. What I see on tape. I like doing it that way. And I think, do you know how hard it was to find 2 games with Jack Strand? I had to go back. His really bad game was in 2024, not 2025. It was hard to find those because most of your Division II games are on CCTV, and to find anything posted is like grasping at straws. So I had to go to specific dates and look into the history on teams' websites to get them. MSU Moorhead. The Dragons. It's funny. But thank you for watching, everybody. As always, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. I will keep my eye on the Lions news, and I will have my night show for 9 p.m. tonight ready to go. Gonna see about getting Chicky Nuggy back here. Maybe even get Michael Edwards to stop drafting fantasy and actually join me for a show. Just playing, Michael. I know you're tired at night. You work your ass off down there in Pigeon Forge. Cheers to you, brother. I don't know if Nick Burton will be here this week. He said he might. He might have the next 2 weeks that he's busy. I couldn't remember exactly what he said last Friday. But it's my pleasure to have fans of this team join me and talk about what we did. Because I'm going to say, and the next person that tells me, oh, we have too many holes, I'm going to say, well, we have less holes than we had when we lost the 10 players because we got 4 more than what we lost. Brad Holmes hasn't wavered. The only thing that changed is not signing older players. And I'm okay with it. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the March Madness. and make sure you tune in tonight when I'll bring you more Lions news.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.